Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike T-Roy. Hello, T.
Hey, Bill.
How are you, buddy?
I am all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, getting that pre-travel anxious feeling like you know you're going to leave shit behind that you can't.
Of course.
You know, meds-wise, you know, like...
We figure out the sleep machine?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, that was going to be a real problem because I tried to deal with it on Monday and they were closed, which would have been really my best chance to figure something out.
Can you just, overnight ship it?
No, mine's busted.
Oh.
Yeah, so I needed to go either rent one or get one, but they were closed Monday, then they were closed Tuesday. And
Well, if yours is broken, what do you need one for?
Exactly. But G's been all over me. It's like you talked to G or something.
No, man.
Because he's been like, you should go to the CPAP place and see if you can get a machine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try. And I did. I made some phone calls, set some alarms, did the whole works, but it just wasn't going to, it just wasn't meant to be. So
right.
I'm kind of fucked on that. But, I noticed that I'm sleeping a lot better since losing a little bit of weight.
That helps. Sure.
That's usually how that works. The more weight you pack on them, the more intense the horrible breathing goes. Plus, not drinking.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking, then I'm a fucking sound like I'm working out in Washington State sawing logs. So but whatever. But I do have an Ask T-Roy personally.
Oh boy,
today
early.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's just because we're talking about travel. This is our last show of the week. Couple quick announcements to make about that. I would have loved to have done a show tomorrow, but by the time you get home from work, you're literally going to walk in the door and then thank you for agreeing to drive me to the airport. So my initial plans fell through. So I appreciate that, but there's just no time to do it. So we're kind of screwed with that. But we did some exclusive member content, and we're going to do some more today. And those are going to land a couple days next week. And the
Dropping some Easter eggs.
Yeah, some Easter eggs, exactly. And the way I've done this is I'm making it available to anybody that's a member. So usually you have to be at a certain tier in order to hear stuff. Like you get the thank you for $5 a month. But then I don't know if it's $10 or something where you get to hear the discussions we have. I'm going to open them up next week so that anybody who's a member can listen to those couple episodes.
Oh, so we don't have people with withdrawals.
Exactly.
Well, there will be a lot of people with withdrawals, but not our favorite listeners.
Not our favorite listeners, exactly. So that's one thing. The other is, first off, I've got this burn on my knuckle. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know if this is flesh-eating bacteria or what. It's getting worse. It's getting uglier. I don't know what the hell I did.
Did it just start out like that as an open, gaping wound? Or
No.
was there a blister there beforehand?
It looked like someone took a carrot or potato peeler and just went and just like sheared off a layer of skin. But now it's getting red, and I'm putting shit on it, so it's shiny now. But I have something similar on my toe, and I know exactly what that was. I wore a pair of these rubber Skechers, like backless, like flip-flop type things, but full-toed.
Okay.
And they just fucked my toe up. And so I'm wearing flip-flops right now more because I don't want to put anything on the toe. It's quite painful.
Oh, yeah, they'll do it for sure.
So I'm going on a flight, and I know people bitch a lot about whether or not, I know people go nuts if you take your shoes and socks off.
Yep.
But in the dead of summer and flying to Phoenix, where it's going to be 180 degrees, is it acceptable to just kind of throw in some flip-flops? Or is that a dick move to do to people? Should I wear tennis shoes?
No, I mean, I think on some level it's kind of frowned upon for being in those circumstances, but it's so common with flip-flops and shit these days. That it's just what everybody wears.
Most young girls are just wearing pajamas and stuff. I've seen on planes. It's quite
So I think if you're
hilarious.
not like, your feet don't have your feet up, you're not picking your toes, things like that.
Yeah.
If you just keep them on the floor and out of everybody's way, I think you'll probably be fine.
Yeah. And I've clipped my toenails too. That drives me nuts when I see someone in whether they're what are the ones, Birkenstocks or flip-flops, and their toenails are a train wreck, and you're like, dude, if you're going to go out in public
class,
like this,
right?
clean this shit up, pal.
Yeah.
You look like an asshole right now, and it's disturbing me. So I won't be that guy for sure, and I won't be picking anything.
Smart. That's good.
Yeah. So
especially your scab.
Right.
Yeah. Leave that one alone.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. Hope no one notices, but I don't need to put my feet up, cross my legs, all that shit, and drive people nuts.
Yeah, I don't think that's even possible on a plane. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But
Did you go aisle seat?
hell yeah.
All right. Just
Yeah,
making
of
sure.
course, man. Got to get that on this one it'll be my left leg. It is out there extended because I'm on the right side of the plane. So, I should be good. I should be good with that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be, honestly, being away from CC is the hardest part, like, by far. Like,
You can overnight shipper.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Put some holes in the box. You'll be fine.
You had talked about starting our own business. I don't want to give this great idea away, but about the shipping animals cross country, which is
just
a
do
thing
laps around
now.
the country and pick up and drop off animals and stuff. Make a sweet van like Dumb and Dumber, like a dog-looking van like that.
Dude, I was thinking the same exact thing. That's funny.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'd be fun to just cross the country, going north, south, east, west, all over, and dropping roops off wherever they belong. It wouldn't be a terrible existence,
No, not
if
at
we
all.
teamed up on it, went full partnership.
Yeah,
and
that's not an option.
Why?
Because I'd shoot you in the face if you talk like that for the whole time.
What, Roops? Why?
Because it drives me nuts.
Dude, everybody loves the Roops voice.
Not everybody.
Yeah,
Not everybody.
I don't hear from many people, and I don't do it that often
and
anymore.
I just said I couldn't take it all the way across country.
Well, I wouldn't do it when they're in the back and we're in the front.
Well, somebody's got to be back there fucking keeping them company.
Well, I'm not sitting back there keeping them company. They're in their own crates.
Okay.
You don't have to sit back there with them.
Sounds like a miserable existence for the dogs.
Well,
My company is going to have companion rides for the animals.
they can bring a stuffed animal with them. They'll be fine. All right. Or just throw them back there like Dumb and Dumber did, and let them roll around back there and slam into everything.
You want to be the Spirit Airlines of animal travel, you go ahead.
Well, you're ruining this. I thought we were on to something. We were going to partner up on this. It was going to be great.
Oh, it was my
Now
idea.
my
You
voice
jumped on-
irritates the shit out of you, and you want me to. You don't even want me sitting shotgun. You want me sitting with the fucking carry-on baggage in the back. Like, dude.
That's a job. Driving is a job. Taking care of the animals is a job. You can just sit there and do nothing the whole time. You got to earn your keep.
I don't think you got to sit back there and brush them and shit the whole trip. You just, make sure they don't fly out of the car. I think that's the whole, or the van, whatever.
All right.
But I think we can make this work.
All right, fine.
We can limit the Roops voice.
We'll figure it out.
Fuck's sakes. Anyway, a lot to get to today. Quite a few things. Still a lot going on with the White House and the cocaine. Is it Canegate?
The White House.
The very White House. They do not want to answer these questions. It becomes alarming at some point where it's like they're so accustomed to a media that just lets them say and do whatever dumb shit they want.
I was surprised it was even reported.
It's being reported by people now. And I don't know if that's just because they know they've got a Walking Dead man and that, they couldn't have more of a puppet in the White House right now, and they want that fucking guy gone. Even the Dems do not want him to run again.
I always wonder if they do some sort of self-sabotage when it comes down
Who
to
knows?
it, or pull a medical something. But I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, or they try and run Bernie again.
Gavin Newsom's the guy.
Weekend at Bernie.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully that he gets elected and then yank him out for the next 4. I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he claims he's running, and he might be the only one that agrees with that decision.
Yeah. And he's not going to debate anybody.
No.
So
no. I love that attitude of, oh, this person's so beneath me. All they do is lie. I'm not even going to debate. That cunt in Arizona pulled that shit.
Yeah.
He pulled this shit basically last time. And it worked. Why not? Like, why would you put yourself in the front and center? If he does debates with whoever's on the right, he's going to be stuck answering questions about his crackhead son, about his 7th grandchild, like all that shit.
Exactly. He'll be exposed. He doesn't have the protection that he has
Right.
by hand-picked questions and all those things.
Still does, sort of. But he'll refuse to debate, say, on, like, Fox. Like, if it's on Fox, he'll say he gets unfair treatment. not seeing how that could easily go the other way on any other network but when you're used to being able to just say any sort of nonsense you want from the podium and people just go, cool, well, that's what you get. Well, now they're starting to push back and go, no. You guys haven't figured out whose blow this is yet? Really? That we're just supposed to believe that. By the way, this 7th granddaughter of yours, are we not going to acknowledge this at all? And they're starting to push back on that, which it's like, holy shit, welcome to the party, folks. It's nice to see you. Where you been?
Yeah.
Could
have some actual journalism, at least.
Yeah, a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. So the White House batted away new lines of questioning about blow discovered at the White House. Spokesman invoking the Hatch Act. They love leaning on the Hatch Act to avoid giving answers. Andrew Bates, so it wasn't KJP this time. Andrew Bates was asked about the pretty wild posts by the former president. I guess Trump's been posting a lot about this.
I read one of them.
Was it funny?
It was.
I didn't read any of them, but
okay, yeah.
What is he?
I couldn't say it verbatim, but something about if anybody thinks that fucking Coke wasn't Hunter's and Joe's, you're crazy. And it's just something about he named somebody in it. I don't know who he was. If it was a prosecutor or somebody. Was like, has anybody checked him because he looks like a crackhead?
That's got to be Jack Smith, the guy that's prosecuting him.
There you go. I think that's right.
Yeah. So I don't know where that is. That's not in New York. That's one of the other, or maybe
that's Florida one.
Yeah. It might be in Florida. Yeah, I guarantee you, he's talking about Jack Smith, the guy that's trying to come after him, that prosecutor.
Maybe.
So, the former president claimed that it either belonged to the president or his son Hunter. I think this is stupid for someone like Trump to say.
It is.
Because you don't know.
You don't know.
Leave that to people like us.
Yep.
Like we are masters in speculation and absurdity. But as a former president, why don't the story's good enough. You don't need to become part of it. Just let that play out as it may. You don't need to jump into the fray and go, I guarantee it's either Hunter's or Joe's.
Yeah.
Like, there's never been a hint of Joe Biden personally having an addiction problem. Like, it would be very hard to hide that as a public figure for, what's he been in public office, 190 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah, or close to.
Rounding up, yep.
We would know if he had an alcohol problem or if he had a drug problem. So I think it's just stupid for Trump. Just stay out of it, Don. You don't need to be involved in this.
We've gone down that road. He can't stay out of it.
Yeah,
and that's his biggest fucking downfall.
It certainly is. I don't have a response to that because we have to be careful about the Hatch Acts. Bates responded, invoking the law, barring politicking by government officials during their official duties. Well, your official duty is as the White House spokesperson.
Yeah, to answer the questions.
Yeah. You can't just go, Hatch Act. You can't answer anything. Hatch Act.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. Plead the fifth.
Right.
Karine Jean-Pierre has regularly used this law as a crutch during briefings. Recently got her own warning about running afoul of its intricacies from the Office of Special Counsel. Going back to dipshit here, Andrew Bates, what I will say is that I have noticed there does seem to be some increasing frustration coming from that corner in general. Obviously talking about Trump, because they're all asking him about Trump's comments. And I think it is probably rooted in the contrast between their substantive policy records. He touted job growth in manufacturing and infrastructure investments. Infrastructure is no longer a punchline in reference to Trump-era infrastructure. No, you're the punchline at this point. Just give me a break.
In the punching bag.
And by the way, can we not chew gum and walk at the same time?
Don't get crazy, dude.
Like, no. You can't address the Coke shit found in your house.
Well, we're still working on just the walking part. So
right.
Don't start throwing chewing gum in there as well.
That is kind of quite a bit to ask for. My apologies for that. The effort to shift the terrain was one of several times he failed to provide new info when asked about the stunning Coke discovery, repeatedly referenced an ongoing Secret Service investigation, including when asked if the White House would admit to being transparent once a probe is completed or concluded. And it was like, nah.
What are you going to prove?
Oh, they'll know. They could know. They could figure it out. 100% they could figure it out if they wanted. Because there's so many cameras in there, and there's only every person that enters that building signs in.
Yeah.
So you go, okay, Out of the 8
Unless you
billion
see
people
it,
on
somebody
planet
drop
Earth,
it.
these 70 people could be the ones.
Yep.
And you start there and you whittle it down. Believe me, the Secret Service could absolutely figure that out.
Well, we
out.
already know, but
Right.
I mean, but you can't. Aside from actually seeing somebody do it or having fingerprints on it,
Yeah.
something along those
I
lines.
doubt someone would wipe their baggie. I'm assuming it was accidentally
Probably
left.
contaminated as shit from everybody. Like, hey, what's this? Look at, hey, Bob.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Please be anthrax. Please be anthrax.
Yeah. That's probably what Joe Biden was saying. Please, Lord, be
For the love of
anthrax.
fuck.
So yeah, they're just gonna do that. Oh yeah, the Secret Service. But people are like, oh, so will you be upfront and honest with us when you figure out
We'll be
what's
getting
going
updates,
on?
obviously, clearly, right?
And they're like, no. Next question, please.
It's an in-house investigation.
Yeah. So I respect his interest in this to be transparent with you. I do not have additional information to provide beyond what Jean-Pierre laid out in the briefing room yesterday, which is something we take seriously. Okay, explain to me exactly what Karine Jean-Pierre laid out in the briefing room. Did she invoke the Hatch Act? Did she say, I'm not going to talk about this? This is a Secret Service matter. That's what she usually does. She kicks a can down the road and answers nothing controversial.
Says I've already addressed that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore after not ever addressing it.
Right.
It's a great one.
I think she addressed it yesterday, and that's all we need to know. Oh, did she? Did she give you a nice, thorough breakdown of what happened, where we are, and how this will play out in the end, and what the public will be made aware of once we know more information? Did she do any of that? No, she didn't. She never.
We
fucking
can't speak
does.
about an active investigation, so
Yeah.
clearly,
Dan.
everybody loves top shelf service.
Sure they do.
World class experience. And of course, communication and support after the sale. So don't settle for ordinary. Go see our friends and original sponsors, Zott, Ford, and Holly. Because when you work with Gabara, Anthony, and the whole crew, you get all that plus the yummiest deals in the D. Starting with Zott Ford's employee pricing for everybody on remaining F-150s plus 0% financing. Hurry, because that's not going to last long. Plus, the team at Zott wants to help you get out of your high interest. You just drove bogey nuts, for the record. Plus, the team at Zott wants to get you out of your high interest rate loan and replace it with a 0% financing and up to $4,500 in rebates. Or if you bought out your lease and you're ready for something fresh, then they can slide you out and get you an extra $1,000 on your trade-in. Finally, Zott Ford still has their famous sign and drive leases where you can lease a 23 Bronco Sport, Explorer, or F-150 with payments just over $400 a month. Sign and drive. See the smorgasbord of deals and their delicious inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, radiofor1.com. That's where that's our site. That's where you can do everything from buying merch using our Amazon link, Amazon Canada link, and Amazon Prime Day is coming up starting, I believe,
next week, 11th and 12th of next week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, next week. So
make sure when you're shopping for these fantastic deals that Amazon provides every year that you remember.
You know you guys are all going ape shit on Prime deals. How can you not?
Of course you are. You'd be stupid not to. Mm-hmm. We all do. But please go to radiofor1.com, click our link, and then just go nuts.
Yep.
Go haywire, and they will recognize us. I'm assuming Amazon Prime, I don't know how it is in the East, like when you're talking about Europe or something like that. I'm assuming Amazon Canada has their Prime Day the same day as days.
Boy, I don't know.
Is America?
Probably.
I don't know.
Amazon's Amazon, so it's probably Amazon days throughout.
Yeah.
But, it's a great question.
Yeah. So if you're available, you're probably buying shit from Amazon anyways in Canada. So if you can, it would help us out quite a bit. MyPillow still having July 4th sales galore. Just use promo code TDC to help us out there.
Amazon.ca. 5 days till July 11th and 12th.
There you go.
Same thing.
Bang, bang.
God bless.
So we expect a lot out of our neighbors to the north.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Same time next week because we won't be here to be promoting it. So we're hoping that you guys all remember.
Go get it, eh?
Link to our Patreon page as well. That's the absolute best way to support us and support the show. And like I said, for Patreon members, they're going to get a couple shows next week.
Lucky bastards.
So we already put one in the can, and I got to say it was pretty damn good. Well, I won't even go.
Don't even spoil it.
Nah, I'm not even going into it.
Even a teaser?
Yeah, no teasers. No teasers at all.
You normal people are just missing out.
Yeah, you sure are. And there's a lot you've missed out on, and a lot more coming. So
gross.
Yeah. Former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino which I acknowledge his Secret Service. He was protection for Obama during his terms. I don't know that he was for Trump. He might have been working in the media by then. He's kind of moved on, but I think he was there for like Bush and
I don't know his years of service, but I know
Obama.
he was in.
Yeah, but the point being, he would understand how Secret Service works and
intimately,
and that kind of stuff. Now, I say that acknowledging that he is absolutely he's gone more and more right wing as time has gone on. He had a show on Fox News that they're not doing anymore for whatever reason. I don't know why they couldn't come to contract terms, but whatever. And he's got a podcast that he does that's quite successful and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, he's on the right, pretty hardcore.
He has an agenda.
So yes, exactly. So take it with a grain of salt, but I would still, I don't know that he's lying to me, especially when he talks. I'm always interested when he starts talking about his days in the Secret Service. Yep. I find it fascinating, just kind of behind the scenes of how that stuff works.
Well, and especially this, I mean, it's one thing to have your opinions of how you lean politically.
Right.
But if you're going to start talking about policy or things, when you get into protocols, when you get into this Secret Service stuff, if you're not right, you will be called out for it.
Right.
They will immediately be backlash on that. So I will take this as fact until I hear anything different.
Right. So he said that the mystery of who snuck cocaine into the White House is hardly a whodunit. There's absolutely zero chance anyone other than a family member brought that cocaine inside the White House complex. No chance that it would make it past the MAG/security checkpoints. MAG? What would MAG be short for?
I mean, I assume like I was thinking metal detector type. You should go through the screening process you would go through to go in.
Coke would make it through that.
But it would make it through. It's not.
Well,
I mean, I can't imagine they have drug sniffing dogs there, bomb sniffing dogs perhaps, but they're not all the same.
Yeah. So either way, he says there's no way they would make it past MAG/security checkpoints. People are probably laughing at us because it's probably something really obvious that we're just not thinking of.
Yep.
Family bypasses those. Okay? Mm-hmm. Key. That's key in this. So when you're talking about there's no chance anyone would make it past the MAG and security checkpoints. However, family bypasses those. He wasn't the only former White House veteran to question the changing storyline and the point the finger at Hunter Biden. Ari Fleischer, who was, I believe, press secretary under Bush, George W. Bush, said insiders surely know the real story. You have got to be kidding me. Cocaine was found at the White House and authorities aren't saying exactly where it was found. If it's the old executive office building, it's likely staff. If it's the mansion, it's likely Hunter. Reporters, do your jobs.
Yeah.
I love this idea. Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of media and stuff who store their phones in this drawer. I'm like, oh, really? Because I know plenty of people who have done cocaine in their lives. They don't tend to take that out of their wallet and throw it in the box where they're putting their phone.
No.
For safekeeping.
Generally not. No.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you might leave a straw in your pocket and do the laundry. Mm-hmm. That's happened to quite a few people.
It will happen.
However, I don't think many people are going, oh, yeah, got to put my keys, my phone. Oh, don't want to forget my little baggie of blow.
Or lock that up.
Let's put that in the safekeeping drawer. Hope none of the other media members who are leaving their Coke and phones in the drawer get my Coke confused with their Coke. It's just absurd on its face.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know any blow user.
Now, do we know the location or where exactly? Was this found in a bathroom? That somebody forgot it and left it? Was this found in a hallway where somebody took their phone out of the pocket and accidentally dropped the bag? That's a legitimate possibility as well.
Immediately thought of the video you pulled up of the girl.
Of course.
Right, taking the photo.
Fantastic. Best ever. Coke stuck on the back of her phone.
Dude, you know it was a little clammy, sweaty day, and that baggie just stuck to her phone.
Here, let me use your phone. Okay, sure. And then you see it on the back of the phone as your grandma's taking the picture of you. Like,
oh shit.
I mean, there's a lot of situations, and listen, I can promise you And Hunter is not the only person in that White House that does cocaine.
No.
So
I can also
I will
promise
say
you
with
that as
absolute
well.
certainty.
Yep.
Now, I don't know the inner workings, where it was, how it got there, what you have to do to go in and out of there.
Yeah.
I just saw a story that now the White House staffers, they're going to start drug testing the staffers just to put out that, we're really going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. And the reality is that who gives a fuck? That's the biggest really deal of this at all.
I completely agree. I'm assuming most people have dabbled. Some people have serious problems. Others can manage.
Right.
Like, it runs the gamut.
I wish Hunter would just come out and be like, yeah, it was mine. Fucking stop it. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen my videos. I'm a disaster.
Yeah. I'm a walking disaster. The problem with that is his high and mighty fucking shitbag of a father incarcerated a hell of a lot of black and brown people over much smaller amounts of rock cocaine. He just did. Now, we can get into semantics. We can argue about why, because I think it's unfair to tag Joe Biden for that. I've said it for years, that there was a real problem, with crack cocaine in the inner cities and the murder and violence that was going on around it.
It's not like he was running around with a badge and a gun doing it either. I mean, he implemented policies, but he also wasn't alone in this either.
But it's hilarious to watch the video of him,
Oh,
sitting there grandstanding about, if you are found with even 1 gram of crack cocaine, you'll be in prison for the rest of your life. Next to another picture of his son just fucking glazed out, cracked out with a pipe in his mouth, and you're like...
But he hasn't been caught with it yet.
Right.
See? It's the semantics of the law.
Or has he been caught with it a lot of times, and
That's
then
possible
people...
too.
They decide not to prosecute, like the one with the car. I mean, are you going to bother?
Didn't get caught with it in the car. Just saying.
I know. But
Didn't get caught with it at the White House. Just saying.
What would happen if you got yourself a rental car and left a bag of blow in there, and along with, or your wallet in there with your ID, your credit cards, and a fucking 8-ball and a straw in your wallet? Would anyone give a shit? Would they?
No, probably not. But in your wallet would be a little different. But separate, you can't prove it.
Yeah.
It's in your wallet, that's your possession.
Right.
Then you could say, well, that's yours. It was in yours. It had to be yours.
Yeah.
I could say my wallet was there, and then there was some crack whore that I dropped off that apparently dropped some blow, too. I don't know who she was.
I picked her up. I was being a good Samaritan.
I gave her
$25
a ride for a blowjob. You want to arrest me for that? Go ahead. But I don't know anything about no coke.
Or just say I was dropping her off at a local soup kitchen. Why do you have to be getting a blowjob and making another felony?
Just to be a dick because they're not going to charge
What are they
going to
do?
Yeah.
Fucking analyze your cock and see if there's any DNA from her on there? Yeah.
There's a big part of you have to be caught with this.
Right. Well, I don't know how that works if you're on video. I feel like that's enough for them to kick your fucking doors in.
I mean, they could, but he's not. He is. He's not on like parole or probation or anything now, where technically
he's on some level, and he's on lifetime. From owning a gun or
well, that's because he has a felony, but that's not.
He's got to keep his nose clean for a couple of years, T. If you know what I'm saying.
No, that's not working out so well.
No.
Whatever.
Well, just rest assured, nobody, and I mean nobody, in the Justice Department, any of the alphabet teams, or anybody in Biden's White House is interested at all in getting to the bottom of this. No. They will do the bare minimum, because they probably all, at least, at a minimum, assume that it's Hunter Biden.
Sure.
Now, maybe it's Bill Mahalski from the New York Times. Maybe
you keep his name out your fucking mouth.
Well, William Mahalski, excuse me. Whoever's. But odds are, and believe me, they're doing bets in Vegas on this.
Are they really?
Yeah, and the bet is that it's Hunter's. Yeah. I don't know. And to me, it's a wasted bet because they're never going to come out and say that. Right. They're never going to say that.
I'll take the under on prosecutions.
Yeah.
For $1 million.
For everything. Yeah. Can I take it for everything in the world,
yes,
cash-wise? The other thing the administration...
And then they'll find some scapegoat just to make it go away and you'll lose.
Yeah, right. The other thing the administration has revealed as of yesterday, plans to appeal a judge's order blocking several government agencies and officials from contacting social media companies. Now, there's probably more to this story than I know. Maybe there's some reasons why you would be interested. I can't think of anything outside of there's a few thousand people that appear to be setting up a, something through Twitter, some sort of meet and greet together that's going to be out of control. And,
maybe a plotting a terrorist attack.
right. Okay.
Finding some subcells.
But the Twitter files taught us a whole lot, and most people didn't pay any attention to it because it wasn't on the team they supported, so the media didn't cover it.
CNN didn't blast it out there on the lead, so it can't be true.
Can't be true. CNBC didn't say anything about it. MSNBC didn't say a damn word about it. No, not a word.
I mean, if you're getting that information from your crazy right-wing, alt-right news organizations, I don't want to hear it.
So, this judge says, no, you can't be contacting these. This is a First Amendment. This is clear as day, First Amendment violations. And they're now saying that they're going to appeal this judge's order. Why? You so are worried about your message and your messaging that normal people might shit on it to the point that you need to fucking go behind the scenes and block these people?
They have to be careful that they don't show any level of guilt. So by appealing it, taking it to the mat, you can't just accept on its face that you were doing wrong.
Yeah, but the Twitter files told us exactly.
I understand.
We read it in their own words.
And then you would think that maybe they just want this to just kind of go away, but they also really want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And having their own pipelines direct and seeing the rapidness.
Repetitiveness?
Is rapidity a word? Rapidness?
Oh, no. Boy, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if rapidity is a word. I'd kind of like to invent it.
You can use rapid in that fashion.
No. I mean how rapidly.
I know.
It was like they turned it around. It was like,
I think just rapidly.
Bill Mahalski tweeted something we don't like. Get rid of it. 18 seconds later, deleted. Gone.
Yep.
And it was like, wow. How about you call Twitter? Anybody listening? You call Facebook and see how far you get and how quick you get there.
There isn't even a phone number.
Yeah. You couldn't clear up a simple joke. Mm-hmm. I mean, with one of the most famous pictures of all time. The cartel photo of, what's his name?
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar. I mean, honestly, you couldn't clear that up.
No.
It should have been a 2-second phone call.
Right.
You can't get him on the phone. These cocksuckers could. Of course they can.
They had a bat phone.
Lawyers with the DOJ filed a notion of appeal in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Louisiana, setting up a clash over U.S. District Judge Terry Doty's judgment on July 4th. He granted the injunction in a lawsuit brought in 22 by the GOP attorneys general of Louisiana and Missouri over alleged collusion between the federal government and social media companies to censor disfavored speech in violation of the First Amendment. Government and social media, although there has not been a final ruling in the case, the judge's order restricts a number of officials and agencies from meeting or communicating with social media companies for the purpose of urging, encouraging, pressuring, or inducing in any manner the removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech. Boy, I loved what that judge said there.
Sounds like it makes total sense.
Yeah, stay the fuck out of our world, okay?
They'll go back and play this off as the COVID thing and the misinformation. And
that we're getting there. That's coming.
That's what it is. They'll fall back onto that.
The injunction affects specific White House officials, including the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre.
Good old KGP.
And agencies, certain officials within them, ranging from Homeland Security to the Health and Human Services
This doesn't go
Department.
back to our girl Circleback Saki?
Probably her, too.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah. The Department of Justice, the FBI. The order also lists some exceptions relating to flagging criminal behavior, national security concerns, and election tampering. Okay, makes sense. Just what we're talking about. Yep. Yeah, if someone's plotting a terrorist attack and they're doing so behind the scenes-ish through Twitter's, DM version of DM or whatever. Yeah, you'd like to hope that your guys can get on that and go and make a simple phone call. They don't get, stuck like we all do trying to get something reposted or whatever or unmuted. You would think they would have that ability. But what you've done is abuse it. And we all saw through it. So As noted in an accompanying memorandum, the defendants have argued they did not seek to coerce social media companies to clamp down on free speech.
No?
No. And efforts to flag posts were meant to fight
misinformation
and
hate speech.
No, disinformation.
Oh.
You were all over it.
Yeah.
On certain issues. So we were worried about misinformation and disinformation on certain issues. Those, particularly COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So
election results, I think, would probably go into there as well.
But also election matters.
Man,
Boom.
it's like I could write this thing
And
myself.
the Hunter Biden laptop story. Okay.
What Hunter Biden laptop?
So now that we know you were 100% full of shit on all of those, you could clearly see the danger in this behavior. You didn't swing and miss with altruistic, intentions. Yeah. You were not trying to do what was right. You were trying to make people that did not believe like you shut the fuck up. You went to great lengths to line the pockets of Big Pharma is what you did. And Hunter Biden to get your guy elected president. That's what you did. That's crystal clear to everybody involved. And so, yeah. So you're still going to come back and say that? Like, all we were trying to do was stop misinformation during COVID and the Hunter Biden lapse. You were the ones spreading all of it. Nobody else was. You, personally, were the ones spreading all the disinformation.
I really, really want this stuff to end up in court.
Yeah, I sort of do, too.
I really do.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's go. Let's get discovery mode.
Let's find out. Let's get into some emails here, kids. Let's get some phone records.
So they say this should be left up to the social media platforms to regulate on their own terms. The judge appears to disagree, writing that during the pandemic, a period perhaps best characterized by widespread doubt and uncertainty, the U.S. government seems to have assumed a role similar to an Orwellian ministry of truth. Ooh. I like this judge more and more.
I do too.
Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey called the judge's order a huge win for the right to freely speak without government censorship.
Now, is this just one of these situations where they went to, they did this in a jurisdiction where they knew they had a conservative judge
probably
that was going to side in their favor, that's going to say all these things, as true or not as they may be,
right?
These are what they're going to say.
Well, when you're talking about Louisiana, Missouri, you've definitely got GOP attorneys general.
I mean, right, but that's not the attorney general that they filed the charges.
They filed it in their states, probably knowing that in California, New York, you couldn't do that.
Right. So again, this kind of goes back to that. While I want this stuff to be settled like that.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way this stuff's being played out.
Yeah.
I don't like the partisanship, especially in the legal system.
What do you do when it's being done like that on everything, though? When it's like, oh, we just need to get this into the Ninth Circuit.
Yeah,
because we know everybody there is liberal as fuck, and they'll all rule in our favor.
I mean, that's kind of where we're at. And then eventually, if it gets kicked all the way up to the Supreme Court, now that's conservative.
Great.
So, well, great for you.
Well,
shitty for
no.
liberals.
I mean, great as being the final word. I don't mean because it's a conservative-leaning court right now.
Great is the final word unless they were all libtards, and then you wouldn't like it.
Right. No.
Because it would go against everything. But
honestly, I wasn't even thinking about who's running that court right now. I was only thinking like, okay, that's the final stop. Well, you could kick it back down, kick it back up, kick it back down, go over here, refile here. But when it gets to the Supreme Court, that's the end all be all. That's where the discussion ends. That's all I meant by that.
I know. The problem that I have is that when that goes up to the Supreme Court, the answer that is handed down from that should be the absolute same no matter who is on that fucking panel.
Impossible, but agreed.
Right. That's it. You shouldn't be able to do that now and then do it again in 5 years, 10 years, whatever. It's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
As young as these justices are, how long it's going to take them to finally kick the bucket and turn over. And when it finally becomes a liberal majority over there, then they can just overturn everything. It's a shit system.
Well, it's not a shit system. It's the best they can come up with.
No, the partisan act part of it is the shit system.
Right.
It shouldn't be 100%. That way.
But what do you do when interpretation matters and how things are interpreted? Like there's comics who've done this. This is not my joke.
Did you say interpreted?
Interpretations.
Interpreted.
interpreted, whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. But when people can interpret things however they want, and they're able to twist things, Second Amendment's a prime example. And like I said, comedians have said this before, not me. But, how do we know it's not the right to bear arms, like BARE? And, I can have sleeveless shirts, or bear arms, and I can fucking attach grizzly bear arms to my arms. Maybe that's what they meant by bear arms. It's ludicrous on its face. I get it, but it's making a point that interpretation is sort of in the eye of the beholder. Whoever's reading it will almost see what they want to see. That's why it's almost like
they can make it say what they want it to say is the difference,
right?
But that's in their gut. They know.
Yeah,
what it
they
means.
know.
But that's the difference. Like, I want purity. I want people that actually care about the law, that care about the Constitution, and not about political gain.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah, it sucks.
About.
It sucks because that was not a thing. Believe it or not, kids, younger people than us that may be listening, that was not how this went even years ago. Where, you'd have disagreements for sure, but the level of respect was there.
It wasn't weaponized like it is now.
No, and it wasn't meant to destroy. The other side wasn't pure evil and trying to ruin democracy and liberty and freedom. No, slow your roll, okay? You're supposed to be above the fucking minions below, and it's much easier to keep them in line when things are calmer. This idea that anyone who doesn't believe like you is somehow some evil mastermind trying to ruin the country in every way possible, it's just stupid. It's not helpful.
No.
It's not. It's awful, and I hate to spend so much time on it, but it feels like it's a constant, and it's interjecting itself into literally every story.
Well, I think
we would have been bitching about the government involvement in social media if this had gone back when we were kids and it was government involved in what you can say on TV. We would have had a problem with that. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Don't bring your religious views into this and be like, oh, you can't say goddamn on HBO. Fuck off.
Well, the government does say what you can say on TV. The FCC.
Yeah,
That's
sort
the government.
Sort of. But it's even worse with social media now, and it's so obvious. It wasn't quite as obvious as it is now, and that's what's so disturbing. Like, how dumb do you think we all are?
I think I had a bit of epiphany the other night, and it was that really been trying to wrap. We talk a lot about what's the end game or what's the goal here. We can't really we see what's going on. We can't see the end of the tracks. We don't know exactly why this is happening. We see it's happening, but we can't really figure out why.
Talking about shaking the jar.
All of it. Yeah, just all of it. I mean, insert fiasco here, and that's our stance on it. And I started thinking, it was like, well, social media. Like, why are they so hell-bent on dividing people right now on whatever level it needs to be?
You mean government or
the powers that be? Okay, the people holding the jar. Okay, take that however you will, whoever that may be. The money, the whatever, the power. Those
it's usually those two things, money and power.
Those people. So why would they? What's the benefit of dividing the country? And because what social
power and money.
Well, what social media has the ability to do that we never had before was to unite people and to get a message across mass amounts of people very quickly.
Right.
And that we've never seen that ability before. We've never
imagine having a high school party nowadays and just tweeting it.
Yeah. Right. What exactly.
Facebooking it. Like
they can't risk. The biggest threat to government and those people is the collective uprising of people, of people having enough. And I'm not saying civil war. I'm just saying that everybody having enough or getting on the same page and figuring out what's really going on.
That would be a real problem.
Real problem. And social media allows that possibility.
Interesting take,
so they have to just keep feeding you bullshit to make you fight amongst yourselves to make sure that you never unite against them.
Yeah, that's a great take. Is that your take?
It is, for sure.
That's a great
Absolutely.
fucking take. And that's probably closer.
Thank you, mushrooms.
That's probably closer to the truth and reality than anything I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that at least, because we've been trying to figure out for so long, like, what is the possible upside of this?
That's it, because it doesn't matter. They're all smoke screens for the same thing.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like, why are they doing this? Well, why are they doing this? Why are they doing it doesn't matter. They're not doing, because whatever that issue is, fucking Republican, Democrat, gay, straight, black, white, whatever, whatever divide they can use and weaponize to divide the people will keep them from ever coming together collectively
they must
against
have
them.
Loved it when the only sort of...
Oh, why did everything just go black?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ.
Shit, he figured it out. Those motherfuckers. They're onto us.
They must have loved it when the only thing that you could equate to social media today, where people have, quick hot takes or outrageous thoughts, would have been, the tabloids of old, the Globe, the National Enquirer, that kind of thing, where it's like, Hillary Clinton gives birth to alien baby, and you're like, hilarious, Like, let them bullshit at the water cooler all day about that. They can fight amongst themselves about whether or not Hillary Clinton gave birth to an alien baby, or whatever with O.J. Simpson or Monica Lewinsky.
Bury some level of truth in such a ridiculous story that it all becomes a farce
absurd
on its face
and easy to write off.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great take.
Thanks.
Another story that I can't say shocks me, will upset some people, is inclusivity. We're seeing that push everywhere, obviously, every single day.
It's a new career path.
So this article I'm reading is from an alt-left, outlet. They're like, inclusivity shouldn't just be present in the workplace. It should be practiced during the hiring process as well. But unfortunately, non-binary job seekers are facing clear biases during their job search. According to a new report from business.com, people identifying as non-binary would hurt their job search. Over 80% of non-binary people believe that identifying as non-binary would hurt their job search. 51% believe their gender identity has affected their workplace experience very or somewhat negatively. Ryan McGonigal, he's the author of the report, says these statistics show just how much work there is to do around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Holy shit. And belonging in the workplace. We clearly have more work to do on several fronts. Over the past 10 years, DEIB, so diversity, equity, inclusion, and bullshit efforts, have been prioritized by many companies. However, the results of this study and past research show that teams in most industries aren't proportionately representative of the population. And worse, many people, like the non-binary individuals we spoke with in our research, feel like they don't belong. Companies should have clearly outlined initiatives and timelines for improving diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. On top of that, they should measure their employees' sense of belonging. Investing in these efforts can only be positive for companies and team members alike. Just sell your dumb shit and leave your stupid identity crap behind. How about that? How about the business is in the business of making money? They're not in the, most businesses are not in the business of activism.
No, of course.
That's not their job.
Or when you come in with your half-shaved fucking pink and purple hair and piercings coming all out of your face, and then when they call you ma'am, you correct them and tell them it's not ma'am, I'm sorry, miss, and you correct them and it's not miss, and you're just like, okay, I'm not fucking... I'm not fucking dealing with this.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Okay, well, she's fine on paper, I guess, but yeah, just not worth the bullshit.
Not worth it.
Right.
Yeah, there's got to be a ton of people who are like, given the choice... I'd be a moron to hire an activist. If I'm knowingly hiring an activist And they go as far as saying you put they, them pronouns on your fucking resume. People are like, yeah, next. Because they know what that means. You've done it to yourselves. You've made us have to deal with whatever your inner thing is. That's not how jobs work.
Yep.
Typically, jobs are you show up. Most people hate their fucking jobs.
You have a task to perform.
Yeah.
You perform it, and you fuck off and go home.
Yeah, exactly. No one needs to know. Most of us don't even know what so-and-so's spouse does for a living or what their kids do or how they're doing in school, let alone interpersonal sexual desires or, what they do on the weekends. Who fucking cares, man? Or what our business is not dealing with. So, sorry this is happening to you, but I can't help but think you brought it on yourselves. Lots of workplaces have a dress code. Does that go against you and being your authentic self? My authentic self never wants to put a fucking suit on. But if I get a job behind a desk and I got to wear a suit, it's not an affront to who I am as a person.
No.
It's just their dress code.
It's amazing that we've gotten to a point to where people don't just have to adapt themselves to everyone else around them has to adapt to them.
Right.
I don't know how in the world we ever got to that point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people shouldn't be fucking kind. Not at all. But at what point did your issues become everyone else's problem?
Right.
And it's comical. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hire a colossal pain in the ass, someone that
and you know it when you see it.
Yes.
And that community is full of it.
And people who take, and when I say zero, I literally mean zero, as far as I can tell, responsibility when things don't work out.
It's everybody else's fault.
It's right. And we see it over and over again. The only possible reason you could be fired is because you're a woman or you're black or you're gay or you're fucking trans.
Yep.
It can't be that you're just a shitty employee.
Yeah,
that's off the table. No. When they hired me, they were very inclusive.
Yes.
But then they fired me because they're misogynistic pigs who only care about white people, white men in particular. Like, it's absurd. It doesn't make any sense. But that people can't help but think that
always
when they see it. It's
victim
like
mentality,
dude.
And the double standard is appalling.
Yeah. When I remember I would stop at Starbucks a lot in Arizona because the warden loved her white mocha, blah 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 bullshit.
Racist.
And so and so I would go by there and it didn't matter if it was midnight or fucking 9 a.m. She wanted one. So you didn't even have to call and ask. So I would just politely, G does it, I did it. Just go in there and pull in. And there was some fucking weirdo pink-haired idiot, who cares? Maybe a nice guy. And he's got embroidered on his smock. Is that what they're called?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. His smock with they, them. And I'm like, do you think in the 4 seconds it takes for me to go, thank you, and grab that cup, I give a flying fuck how you identify? Who is this for?
Them.
Yeah, you. This is about you.
It's all about
This is
them.
not about Starbucks. It's not about the customer. No one in this line, if they, them, having that embroidered on your smock made the line go faster, then by all means, let's all put they, them, or Giger, whatever you want on your bullshit. Put it on there if it makes the line go faster. Does it?
Nope.
No, it doesn't at all.
Would there be any pushback if I had he, him embroidered on there?
Yeah.
Cis male.
Yeah, cisgendered fucking, yeah. Business.com also went a step further by sending 2 identical phantom resumes to 180 unique job postings that were explicitly open to entry-level candidates in an effort to test whether or not the inclusion of gender-neutral pronouns impacts how employers perceive resumes or resumes.
Yeah.
For the lay. Both featured
CVs if you're a Brit.
Yeah. Both featured a gender ambiguous name, Taylor Williams, excuse me.
Sorry, yeah.
The only difference between the test and control resumes was the presence of gender pronouns on the test version. The test resume included they, them pronouns under the name in the header. She, her, and he, him were not tested. The phantom resumes, including pronouns, received 8% less interest than the one without and fewer interview and phone screening invitations. Honestly, I'm shocked that that number's not even higher.
In a way, yeah.
I
mean, you got to understand that those people are in charge of hiring in a lot of these places now. diversion and inclusivity bullshit that goes along with the HR departments.
Right. By the way, when you're applying for a job,
and the quotas that have to be filled. So some of these are just going,
they them gets me in.
Yeah, well, at least bring them in for an interview.
Yeah.
Right?
But then you got to know you're walking on eggshells the entire time they're employed with you, because God forbid you call him a they, or you call they a him. Like, it's impossible. It is so hard to read the news when you're reading a story about one of them and they keep going them and they.
Right. Who?
Because
how many people were there?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you stumble into. And it's like, oh, yes, I'm reading an article where some dipshit thinks they're a they. I got it. I got it now. Just trying to confuse everybody.
You go to jail for that now in Michigan.
Yeah, I know. I heard. Over 64% of the companies that received these resumes were equal opportunity employers. Wow. Something that made the results even more worrisome.
Oh, it's terrible.
The law makes it clear you cannot base any employment decision, hiring, terminating, or otherwise, based on their gender identity.
Well, then why do we put any pronouns on it, period?
Yeah.
Why do we even put a name on it?
Yeah. What does it matter?
Here's my phone number. If you like what this is
Here's
on
my
here,
first name.
Call just your last name. Doesn't even matter. It shouldn't matter if you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
Or they or zer, whatever the fuck you want to put on there now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter, then it shouldn't matter.
And why doesn't this equal hiring practice apply to the NBA or the NFL? I mean, I'd love to know if our new linebacker is a Giger or a they them.
Yep.
Can we put that on his jersey? You know? And as far as diversity hires go, can we get some of them on the field, please? I'd love to see some pink-haired, floppy-titted dude out there running around with the big boys.
We know how that works out.
Yeah, sure. Law makes it clear you can't base decisions. Yeah, but people aren't stupid enough to do that. No, I'm not hiring you because you said they, them in your fucking resume, and I'm not dealing with that horse shit. No one's going to say that to you. So they're just going to quietly go, next. So if the
Oh, I'm sorry. You're overqualified.
Yeah. I know this is entry level. You're way beyond this. Yeah.
We wouldn't possibly bore you and insult you with an offer for this position.
You should go apply at Forever 21, but this is beneath you. Yeah, completely. I thought the point when you're looking for a job is to make yourself as appealing as humanly possible to someone. Not, I'm going to make myself stand out in as many ways as humanly possible. That just screams to someone, possible problem, possible problem, possible problem. I mean, that's what it would scream to me.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter what that problem is. It just happens to be the problem we're talking about in this situation.
Yeah. So based on their gender identity, you can't hire and fire based on that. It's incredibly disappointing. Or, well, you can hire based on that. You can't fire based on that. It's incredibly disappointing and unethical that many of the hiring managers in our study would disqualify a candidate for being authentic. Mm-hmm. Some might say that. Some might say mentally ill. Not us. Obviously, we would never say that.
Some might.
Some might. And believe it or not, there might be some people in positions of authority that might think that. They
might even be some data that might support that.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit of it. When you're determining your hiring process, think about how bias could be introduced and how to mitigate it. For example, your interview panel should be diverse in order to hold each other accountable and bring awareness to blind spots. The same can be said for filtering resumes or any other part of the hiring process. If someone is new to hiring, have them partner with someone more experienced that could bring these biases to light. We all have biases. Even if we don't want to or don't believe we do, put strategies in place to check yourself and hold your team accountable. How about no one gives a shit how you identify? Are you a strong worker or you're a giant pain in the ass? Because that entire couple paragraphs there had nothing to do with the job you're applying for.
Absolutely not.
It made more work for all these other people. In fact, we can't just have one person responsible for going through the hiring process. No, now we need a senior person who's checking you for your biases, and then they're checking you for your biases. Like, what are we doing here?
All has to get approved through the diversion and inclusivity, equity department.
And honestly,
I wonder what the B stands for, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we can.
Diversion and EIB.
And belonging.
Belonging. So sweet.
Oh,
and
my
belonging.
God.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
Aww.
So for non-binary individuals struggling to feel accepted as their authentic selves in the workplace, they urge them to speak out about their experiences. Yeah, let's continue to make this all about you.
Yep.
Okay? So anytime you have an issue or you don't feel like someone's respecting your authentic self, let's go to management. Let's shut the store down for the day. Let's have a meeting or a round table about this and see if we can't make you personally feel awesome today.
What if your authentic self is like a deep South fucking racist?
Well, I would say that you should be your authentic self, T.
Yeah, I mean, that's being your authentic self, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you just come in there and like, I'm not working with N-words, don't have me around no N-words.
Or Browns, for that matter.
Whatever.
Fuck the Browns. I won't even watch the football team.
Right. But that's being your authentic self. Doesn't make it right.
Right.
I'm saying that this is right or wrong, but let's stop making exceptions for the rules here.
I would say just instead of putting they, them on your resume, just put annoying, trouble, problems with everyone and everything in the what are some of your traits section of the application.
How about,
because that's about the same thing. That's what it sounds like to me. Now, I'm not accusing all of you of being a giant pain in the ass. I actually feel bad for the people out there who absolutely are transgender. They identify as how they do. I understand those people exist. I'm not trying to delete those people.
No, not
I'm
at all.
saying you do not all have to be a giant pain in the ass
and
to the point that you're ruining it for people that just want to get through the day.
All those people are trying to fly under the radar.
Yeah.
Trying to blend in, trying to be as normal as possible.
Yes.
It's the antithesis of what those people are doing.
Right.
They have to stand out. They have to make it about them. And yes, pissing in the pool.
And maybe the joke's on us. And maybe being a professional victim pays well enough that it's like, no, you don't understand, Troy or Mike. This is my job. I'm a professional activist. I'm a professional victim for a living. I just know from the small handful of people that I've talked to that are part of that community, they feel like it's less safe now than it was 10 years ago out there for them. That people are beginning to resent them as if they're all part of this fucking problem.
Yep.
And that's not fair. It's really not fair, and it's troubling.
But to break that down is what's changed. Are people more transphobic now? Are they more racist now than they were 10 years ago? Because no.
Right.
People aren't. So what's changed? Why has the temperature in the room changed?
Yeah.
That there's this resentment has started to build up.
Yeah.
It goes back to taking accountability for your actions. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want and not expect repercussions for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's justified, but you have to look in the mirror collectively as a group and see what's causing this issue.
Right. And
butt fucking in the streets and parades, things like that, might draw a little bit of resentment. Say some people might say.
And it seems that there's not quite a line that we're willing to go. Okay, like we're even trying to fucking water down pedophilia. Like that's happening
Big time.
So if that's not disturbing to you, maybe you're part of the problem. Okay, Riley Gaines, I pulled up a video there, T. I want to play for you. So Riley Gaines is I think she was University of Kentucky, really good swimmer, and she had to go against, what's his dick?
William Thomas.
Bill Thomas, Leah Thomas. Yeah. And got smoked and has kind of been on an island by herself, as a young woman. She gets more hate than, most people thrown at her. And it's like, she's looking for fairness in women's athletics. And it, believe it or not, that wouldn't have been a crazy notion just a handful of weeks ago. It's just sad.
Yeah.
But
probably 5 years ago.
Right.
You would think that would have been a unanimous across the board.
It would have been.
How did we get here?
I don't know, but the problem is when you don't have a line where you go, okay, even for the most like liberal and open-minded, free-flowing, hey man, we're all just here getting through this world, man. Who cares? Like for all of them, if you don't draw a line somewhere, then the craziest of the crazy are going to keep pushing it.
Of course.
And so, the CDC came out recently and said that men can chest feed. First off, there's 2 acceptable terms. It's breastfeeding or titty feeding.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay? This idea of chest feeding men, stop it. And I understand they're being cute with the term men. Yeah. Like, the only one that's breast, titty, or chest feeding children is women, right? Mammaries. Yeah. That's what's...
I mean, if they're pretending to be a man, that's one thing.
Right.
But they can't get milk out that titty, as we've learned from Meet the Fockers.
Right.
Greg tried.
Right.
And he can get
milk anything with nipples. Yes. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah. Not so much. They're pretending to be a man.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Identify as a man.
Right.
But if they were a man, there wouldn't be any milk coming out them titties.
Well, the problem with this is, and what Riley Gaines eloquently points out, is you have actual men who are identifying as women who also want to breastfeed children. And so they fall into the category of, well, the CDC even says men can breastfeed children. So I give you Riley Gaines, and she will show you footage of what we're talking about.
Fantastic.
And at what point is this crossed a line for you? Because if you think this is anything but a sexual perversion, you are out of your fucking mind.
Ooh, let's find out.
God, she's cute.
Okay, for the longest time, I refrained from posting on TikTok. I'm the swimmer who competed against Leah Thomas, who has been outspoken on why men should not be competing in women's sports or changing in our locker rooms. But after what I saw today on Twitter, I will be blasting my opinions and my views on all of my social media platforms because this is sick. And I think a true testament of where, as Americans, we are today. Okay, so I came across this picture yesterday on Twitter, which is very clearly a man who is claiming the identity of a woman and breastfeeding a child.
That's a baby.
After seeing that picture, I very quickly took to my Twitter to call that what it is, which is sexual abuse of a child. But I didn't realize to what degree until I saw this. In the following photos, you will see the same man who was breastfeeding the child actively using nipple clamps to fulfill his sexual fetish. Here is another one, and here is another
double
one.
Nipples.
Yeah.
And here is the Instagram caption from
He's
the
a guy.
same
Why-
man
he
on
can
his
show his
Instagram
nipples.
profile,
Right.
where he wanted to check on how hard you can tug on the nipple clamps. So I guess what I'm wondering is, how can any sane human being see this man posing with this child, obviously sucking on his nipple, now seeing what he engages in privately, and not see this baby as an erotic prop for this man with a sick fetish? It is sexual abuse of a child, bottom line. And all of this to say that in America, we are normalizing pedophilia. Let me repeat that. We are normalizing pedophilia. And we're normalizing this behavior in the guise of human rights. But sexual abuse is not a human right for anyone. I hate to even be spreading this message, but I think people need to see it. It's up to us to stand up against evil, which is exactly what this is. This is a battle of moral versus evil. The smirk on this man's face says it all. Okay, for the longest...
By the way, she says this video got deleted.
Yep.
So that video you could get there, but where she originally posted it was deleted as hate speech of some sort.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Well, probably by misgendering that man.
Probably.
He identifies as a woman, clearly.
Yeah.
And she
Sure.
repeatedly and intentionally misgendered him.
Right.
So that is clearly hate speech, and God forbid if she did that in Michigan.
Yeah. God forbid. And
Prosecutable.
the fact is, that dude loves putting his cock and balls. Excuse me, I don't want to get in trouble. We are in Michigan. That lady loves putting his cock and balls into a silky thong. That's part of what gets that lady off.
And let's not forget the nipple play.
Yeah.
That's critical
Yeah.
to what that lovely lady enjoys.
Just a lady. Just a lady out here enjoying some nipple clamps like every other lady
I mean,
does.
listen, ladies love nipple play. Guys love nipple play. Okay? But putting a fucking baby's mouth on it
Yeah.
that's not feeding that child is a problem.
What do you mean not feeding the child? I'm clearly a lady. Just feeding my child.
Now they'll say that, this is, whatever. I assume it's probably an adopted kid. It might even be fucking his. Who knows?
Yeah.
But,
hers.
You have to bond, with the child. Like,
right.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
There's research on breastfeeding and the bond that it creates between the mother and the child.
Again, I will ask.
Yeah, when the kid's getting something out of it, not just sucking on your titty and you're coming, right? Yeah, it's producing milk, but the wrong way.
Yeah, we could do this with men too. You could have babies suck on your dick.
Suck there. Here, eat that. There you go. You go.
Yeah,
suck again, suck
just
again.
have them on your dick, and see. Eventually, it'll produce some milkish like substance.
Yeah.
If you did that, would that be okay? As long as I claim to be a lady, I'm just a lady.
What if my dick identifies as a nipple?
Okay, why not?
See,
Boom, now we're talking.
Let's think outside the box.
You found
here,
a loophole to have toddlers sucking on your dicks. Not to mention, it's very common to have ladies posting pictures of them still nursing their 8-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Their 8-year-olds come running in for lunch, and they just lop on. Why not have 8-year-old little boys and girls lopping onto your cock and
that's abuse too.
Yeah.
The 8-year-old's still sucking on a titty.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
I agree. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I do like me some Riley Gaines, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she's got those fucking. I'm a sucker for the blue eyes, man.
Oh yeah,
I just am.
She knows. That's why she's putting them out there.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her because she'd not sign up for this.
Well,
I'm
gonna.
I do. I feel bad for a young woman.
She
having to put up with this much abuse.
She has done this to herself on some level.
Sort of, but she was in the middle of the firestorm, so she either had the choice to shut the fuck up and accept Leah Thomas.
Yep.
As a 6'4" male in her swimming division.
Okay. This has nothing to do with women's sports.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying she's not allowed to.
That ball's rolling, it's rolling.
I'm not saying she's not allowed to have her opinion. I'm not saying I disagree with her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you don't get to complain about taking the fucking heat when you're putting yourself in the fire.
It's something that should have never been a fire to begin with.
And let's be real about the before this, nobody knew who Riley Gaines was.
Yeah.
Now she's famous. Now she's probably getting a lot of money in deals and things that goes along with it.
Maybe
she's getting a lot of
yeah.
lot of hate,
I've seen her on Fox
News. A lot of shade
News
coming too. But you know what she's also getting is a lot of
love and publicity. But I don't know that that's what she was going for, or if she simply answered.
I'm not saying that she was going for that, but I promise you, that's why she's still doing it.
But if you first off, college athletes, and I don't care what sport you're in, you're used to getting interviewed on some level. There's somebody that's going to want to talk to you about the college athletics, even if it's just the local college paper and whatnot. But you're going to be interviewed in local papers and whatnot. That's part of it. So if she's constantly getting asked questions, and Sports Illustrated wants to talk to you, and Sporting Magazine wants to talk to you, and all then it quickly becomes.
Can you name one other woman? Swimmer.
Yeah. What's her name?
No.
No.
Well, that's my point. She's not the only person that got interviewed.
But she's not asking herself the questions. Well, she sort of isn't.
Well, I'm saying, but she's not the only one that's ever been asked a question about it. But you don't know anybody else's name. My point.
Yeah, because people are too fucking scared to come out and say how they really feel. So what she's getting is inundated with other female athletes going, "Thank you for speaking up for us." I'm not willing to threaten my own existence, my own life, by giving an interview about this. Thank you for speaking for a lot of us.
Absolutely.
And that's too bad.
And
that you can't have that open conversation and that open dialogue everyone talks about.
You should be able to without getting shut down. But I'm just saying, and I'm not even criticizing her. I'm just saying that she's loving her life right now.
Yeah, probably.
So.
Yep, she's beautiful and young, and you're probably right. She's getting paid, and that's my personal opinion. She might go, "Fuck you, dude. I could not be happier. This is amazing." Yeah, I have to deal with some bullshit, but by and large, I'm making more money than I ever dreamed. I am getting love and support from so many more people than you can imagine.
She'd be irrelevant like every other female swimmer.
Right. Yeah. Unless you're talking about Olympians, but yeah.
Sure, Katie Ledecky. There you go.
There you go. That's who I was trying to think of. I
The one you couldn't pull.
I kept going. Mary
She's
Lou
an
Retton.
Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
Not these clowns.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
No, and she might tell me that I'm an idiot, that she's never been happier. This is a lifelong dream to get this kind of fame.
No, and she
wealth,
probably didn't say, and again, I'm not saying that's why
Maybe.
she started it. I'm just saying that's why she's putting out TikTok videos on guys sucking on nipples right now, because
Right.
she's taken the ball and run with it.
Yeah.
And it's not about women's
There's nothing
sports.
wrong with that
I'm not
either.
saying it is. I'm
Yeah.
just calling a spade a spade.
Well,
And that
the
she
reason
took
you're
the ball
saying
and
that
ran
is
with it.
because I said I feel bad for her, and you said she brought it on herself.
Yes, exactly.
And I think the larger issue that I have with it is so many other people don't feel it's safe for their livelihood to even talk about it.
Very true.
And so they don't. And that's too bad too. Because this should be a
Those
very,
are the people you
very
should feel,
debatable.
those are the people you should feel bad for.
Yeah, but then you could go, okay, they're cowards on some level. You know, that there's a level of cowardice if you're not willing to talk about this stuff, or someone's going to throw you off your game by just writing you one shitty email. I mean, if we shut up about every topic someone bitched at us about, we wouldn't have any topics to talk about. I mean, it is what it is. It comes with the territory.
Sure.
So no one's going to feel bad for us. And you know, to your point, she might be absolutely thrilled with this, and it will probably lead to great wealth and fame for her going
Already has.
forward that she never would have been able to get.
Never.
You know, outside of
She would have graduated college, been an ex-swimmer,
and married someone, dumped out a few kids, and been a housewife.
yep, and lost that
probably.
body. But now she's going to keep it because she's a TikToker.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by The Party Pub. If you want to impress everyone at your grad party, wedding reception, poker night, MMA viewing party, or for any other reason, then you need to contact The Party Pub. It's a massive inflatable pub that can be set up wherever you choose. They also have all the best party games, beanbag toss, badminton, giant inflatable screens, X throwing, and more.
Oh, the X string's so cool.
Call Jeff El Jefe at 586-524-6701 or visit thepartypubrentals.com. And this part of the show is brought to you by, sorry guys, we're going to double up a little bit with a short week.
Yep.
But this part of the show is brought to you by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club, the Backcourt.
Oh, it's so good. I could go for that right now.
could,
oh,
yeah.
that bread and those steaks. Oh, man.
We're starving.
We're starving right now.
The Backcourt's located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club, and it combines first-class service with a relaxed, friendly atmosphere and a chef-inspired menu. They have daily dinner specials throughout the week, live music on Friday nights, and on Friday and Saturday nights, the best fucking prime rib in town. I said it. I've had it.
I'm not even crazy about prime rib, and I
It's
liked
so
it.
good.
I had a
Holy
bite of
shit.
it, and it's
Dude, that King Cut is like what flipped Fred Flintstone's car.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
no doubt about it.
And delightful.
Yeah.
Hey, so next time you're heading out for dinner or drinks, then stop by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. You can call them at 248-625-8686 or visit DeerLakeAthleticClub.com.
Before we get to some Ask T-Roy and an email, we are a little pressed for time tonight. But I did want to do this story. This bothered me a lot. And we've got a nighttime prowler has been breaking into Lake Tahoe hotel rooms to fondle sleeping women's feet. Cops have warned.
Wait, is this the guy that got run out of Ohio or whatever? Wasn't there the serial toe sucker manager?
Oh, yeah. Was
from
that
the
Ohio?
the Hampton Inn or wherever the hell that one was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was blowing toes, though.
Yeah, well, what are we talking about here?
Well, fondling women's feet. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a gateway to sucking toes, man.
Maybe, perhaps,
sure.
that could be viewed that way. Douglas County Sheriff's Office said 2 female guests staying at a premium 4.5-star hotel in the beautiful lakeside city of State Line, which is West Side, Nevada, reported waking up to an intruder touching their feet around 4:30 in the morning on 2 separate mornings, with the unidentified serial foot molester breaking into ground floor rooms via an unsecured exterior screen door. Once the female guest woke up, the intruder left the room via exterior sliding screen door. Guests at the hotel enjoy spacious bedroom resort suites, which comfortably sleep 4 to 8 guests, range from 850 square feet to a little over 1,200 square feet.
That's a big room.
How about you lock your fucking door? How about that? How about we start there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they can get into the hotel lobby, but it's really hard to get into someone's hotel room.
Well, it seemed like he was coming in through the screen door.
Gross.
What I heard. Right?
It sounds like he was going out through that screen door.
But no, read that first part again. I think he was coming in through, because he wasn't getting in through the...
The serial foot molester breaking into ground floor rooms via an unsecured exterior screen door. Yeah. You know what? When I was last in Tahoe, I had that open, the screen unlocked because the breeze was coming in off the lake.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I can't shame these people.
And even
so
if
much
you
anymore.
maybe you lock that shitty little screen door lock, that's got to be jimmyable easy.
Yeah.
You know?
For someone like you, for sure. I've seen you do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Following the foot fondling incident, residents and guests in the Tahoe area have been advised to secure all exterior doors to their
Did we
homes.
print their feet? Press their feet for prints?
I don't know that
Can you
they've
get
done
a print
that.
off of skin?
They're actively working the investigation. So that I can't say that. Anyone with information, by the way, you want to contact Scott Wharton, 775-586-7253.
If you have any tips.
Yeah.
If you know, if you're in the Tahoe area and you know any serial toe fondlers.
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this story. And I'll be clear about this. I'm fine. Someone lets themselves into your place and wants to, play a quick round of this little piggy went to market. It's better than stealing your wallet and purse.
Yeah.
It's better than raping your wife or girlfriend.
What if it ends with a load on your foot?
Well, okay, if he starts coming on their feet now that you've gone a little bit further, it crosses a line. Again, not the end of the world, but I don't want to encourage that behavior.
Yeah.
But if your wife needs to take a little extra time in the shower the next day, first off, this has no effect on us. No one's jacking off on our feet.
I have lovely feet. What you talking
You
about?
do, but they're men's feet, Fred Flintstone.
Listen,
No one's jacking off, and
it
sounds like he's just wiggling some toes.
Au contraire, mon frere, who was the victim in the Hampton Inn in Ohio?
Yeah, that was a dude-on-dude crime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there's no market for dude feet.
Yeah, but it
I'm not
sounds
saying
like
it's huge. I'm just saying I'm not saying there's no market there.
both of these were chicks' feet.
Well, that's this guy. This guy's a chick foot guy.
Yeah, but he didn't come on their feet. All he did was
He was
like I
interrupted
said,
both times, clearly.
he was playing a little fucking game of this little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. Big deal.
Now,
Big
is
deal.
this premeditated to where he scoped these women out based on their feet? Or
Probably.
Is this a crime of opportunity to where he just went around and found unlocked doors and got whatever feet he could find?
Probably the latter. I was going to say the first one where he was scoping, which could be.
What are the chances that the one you want also leaves the door open on a ground floor fucking room?
How do you think these, and I'm not trying to get into the mind of a creep
I mean,
here
you
and
spend,
expect
you
you
spend
to.
enough time around the pool. You know what you want.
Well, yeah, no doubt. But there can be a absolutely gorgeous, sexy set of feet on an absolute pig of a person.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if you can differentiate, then good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like looking at a great set of tits on an ugly face.
Yeah.
Still a great set of tits.
Yeah,
The tits don't lie.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the feet are the same thing. Not really a foot guy. I'm not anti-foot, but I'm not, just
I'm not a
deep throat
foot guy
and fucking
either.
toe.
But we know foot guys.
Yeah,
We
there are
know
some,
foot-
for
we
sure.
We know foot people, and
feel free to email the show. Let us know what you think about this.
I'd love to hear from some foot people, or because I mean, really, what's the difference between an ass man,
Sure.
a tit man, and a foot
Exactly.
man or a hand man?
It is what it is. I
know?
don't judge. I don't berate anybody for their kinks.
I don't get it at all.
That's fine.
But that's fine. I bet there's some belly button men out there.
There's all kinds of things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What if there's
But-
like nostril guys?
But you could admit, right? You can go as far as me and going, well, yeah, I mean, do we all need to call Scott Wharton and give his fucking direct line out to find this guy that's wiggling toes in the night? When, there's rapists you're not putting that much effort into.
Yeah.
There's murderers you're not putting that much effort
Well,
into.
is Scott Wharton
It's Detective Wharton.
was it detective?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I thought maybe he was the night shift manager at the 4.5-star resort. I don't know.
No, I think that would make more sense.
Yeah.
No, I think Wharton's part of the Douglas County
Okay.
Sheriff's Department there.
All right, fine.
I mean, I'd call him, but I don't want to fuck with the police.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Anyway.
We can get a statement.
Yeah, they're just going to... Well, we could.
That's
I mean,
fine.
should we call them?
No,
We're
moving
just
on.
running out of time, that's all.
moving on.
All right, let's do a little Ask T-Roy, because they're quickly turning into my
I'm going to need you to start
favorite.
emphasizing that K a little bit more. I think you're getting a little lazy on the K. Let's do some Ask T-Roy.
Ask T-Roy?
Yeah, it just sounds like Ask T-Roy. I need some Ask T-Roy. I need some differentiation between the words on that.
You are so sensitive to this shit. Ever since you got called out for in the read for not saying badminton.
No, I'm just telling you.
I think you're oversensitive since the badminton episode.
It's that the K has been slowly going away, and now it's just Ask T-Roy.
Yeah.
There's no.
I didn't even notice it. Now I'm going to think about it all the time. You planted that.
T-Roy, just like badminton.
Yeah, but it's even more annoying to go badminton. Sounds fucking way worse.
Well, I tried to say it, and I got yelled at, so now it's
badminton. Well, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Ignore that guy.
Badminton.
Ask T-Roy.
Yeah, well, that's how you say it. They're two words. They're separate.
T-Roy.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Well, there's two words there. What's the first word?
Ask.
Yeah, and
T-Roy.
there you go. Nailed it.
All right, that's not so bad. I like that, actually.
Yeah,
all right.
It really rolls off the tongue.
On this episode of Ask T-Roy.
Thank you.
Dear husband. My husband. Dear T-Roy, my daughter.
Oh,
she sounds hot, doesn't she? No. Huh? She doesn't? I thought she sounded kind of hot. My daughter is a professional woman in her mid-20s. Now does she sound kind of hot?
Oh, you talking about the daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the
woman.
Well, I don't. Okay.
No.
And what if this
daughter who's in her mid-20s?
Well, and what if this finished with my daughter who's finishing kindergarten?
Well, then I wouldn't have said that.
I didn't have. I wasn't privy to that information. I could not chime in, and all the information I had was that this woman has a child.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it doesn't sound hot.
Okay, it does now that I say a professional woman in her mid-20s. What if she's a professional hand job giver?
That means she's ugly. So no, she doesn't sound hot.
Well, does that automatically mean she's not hot? What if she just gives incredible hand jobs to the point of becoming a pro?
Okay.
Could be. Anyway, it's a moot point.
Yeah.
She works in a demanding field with a lot of overtime. She lives an
She is a professional hand jobber.
She lives an hour away from us and is financially independent, but depends on us often for favors. She's been dating a man for a year and a half who doesn't even call her his girlfriend. We have never met him. He sees her when it's convenient for him, sometimes for an hour at 11 on a Sunday night after he's spent the weekend with his buddies. We both know what to call that. She has never asked him to feed or babysit her cat, help her move furniture, pick up an item from a store, or anything. She asks us. We are in our 60s. We feel it's time for her to find a loving, considerate life partner.
Jesus, you shit that kid out in your 40s?
Yeah. But she's content with her present relationship. She has had relationships before with thoughtful, helpful guys, so I'm not sure why she is rationalizing this man's self-centered behavior.
Huge dick.
He is now moving 600 miles away, but plans to continue seeing her.
On Sundays for an hour.
He hasn't asked her to join him, although she considered uprooting herself from her job and family to do so.
You can do Handy's remote.
How can I make her see that she has no future with this guy and needs to find a real partner in life? Won't be around forever.
The same way you just told me.
Yeah.
Lady. Have this conversation with your daughter.
Yeah. Don't ask T-Roy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you are really asking a lot of people not to ask T-Roy and just have these conversations.
Well, but that's just it, because they're having the conversation with me.
Yeah.
That they should be having with the person that they're having this conversation about.
Fair enough.
They say everything. I don't know how to tell him that I can't stand him and his stick's too small and he doesn't make money and I'm tired of him beating me and all this stuff. How do I say that?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that.
How you say that.
Yeah. Is it possible? Is it even possible that she's had relationships with loving, appreciative, clingy guys? Here she is, young, in her mid-20s, professional, making enough money to be on her own. Maybe she enjoys just getting deep-dicked once a week at Sunday night at 11.
Very plausible.
And that's all she needs.
It's the extent of this relationship.
Yeah, it's like, no, I have my girlfriends to hang out with. I got this and that. I don't need some fucking dude screwing up my mojo.
The problem is the parents never met him.
Yeah.
Then why do they even know about him? If she's just taking a deep dick in here and there, then why do they even know about him?
Well, maybe they're one of those prying, like, when are you going to find a good man? When are you going to find a good man to settle down with? You need to have kids. You don't want to be like us, spitting out kids in your 40s.
How do
like
they
me.
know that he doesn't call her a girlfriend? She's telling him that? That means she wants more. It means she's bitching about it.
Maybe. Or she just made that shit up.
I doubt it, but
Maybe.
Possible. But
maybe this is exactly what the daughter wants. Give me an 11 o'clock for an hour. That's all I need.
She's putting up with this because she's getting her back blown out. Let's be real about this.
Yeah.
Is that she's willing to just eat shit for that dick.
Yeah.
Because all those respectful, nice, professional guys have not blown the back out like apparently this dude does.
Yeah.
On Sundays at 11.
Right.
So you can put up with a lot of bullshit when you can take the hammer like that.
Yeah. Right.
When you find it, you keep it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. It's a good answer. Dear T-Roy, a male family friend who is gay works at a local business my wife and I patronize regularly. Patronize regularly. We always stop and chat when he's there, but he does something that irritates me. He addresses my wife as sweetie. My wife thinks I'm being silly because he's gay. I say one's sexual orientation doesn't negate manners and how one man should address another man's wife. I'm not annoyed to the point that I'd confront the guy, but I promised my wife I'd ask you for your opinion. Bothered in New York.
Yeah. I feel bad saying the same fucking thing all the time. You took the effort. You put more fucking effort into writing that sentence.
Don't yell at him. You're going to discourage him from writing in.
Yeah, you tell the guy, hey, especially if this is a family friend.
Yeah.
One thing if it's just some random that a cashier that you see at your Trader Joe's every Saturday.
Yeah.
Calls my wife sweetie and just grinds my gears.
Yeah.
This is a family friend. This is somebody you know.
Yeah, but he's of zero threat. If
It's not about
he's
a
honestly
threat.
a gay guy.
It's not a threat. It's a respect issue.
Really? Is that so disrespectful? You
To
sound like a
him-
pussy.
I'm not saying it's to him.
Not you.
it
I'm
is.
saying him. He sounds like a
Right.
fucking dude, really? The gay guy calls her sweetie? Probably calls everybody sweetie. Who
I'm
cares?
sure he does.
Yeah.
Calls guy sweetie. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
It pisses this guy off.
Yeah.
And if that's what happens, then speak your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Then go to that guy and go, hey, listen, I know you don't mean anything by it. I just got to tell you,
It rubs me.
It bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't want any problems or whatever. I don't know why. I understand it's more me than you. I just if there's
more me than you.
If there's any way, I know you don't mean anything by it. I don't know why it bothers me the way it does, but it does.
Yeah.
So
instead of growing to resent you,
could you
I'm just going to bring it up.
Just not call my wife sweetie. And he would probably go, oh, my God, yeah, I'm so sorry. I had no idea it offended you. I mean nothing by it. I mean no harm. I will absolutely never say that again.
Or he looks at him and goes, okay, geez, which one of us is the faggot again?
Yeah, that's possible, too. And both situations are correct.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
There's that.
Yeah.
It kills me, these people. I don't know how to say it. Just like that.
Yeah.
It's easy. People have no balls in this world.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of them without them.
I know.
It sucks. It stinks.
It'd
Hello,
be such a better
friends.
place if people just spoke their mind.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be an asshole to say it.
No, I know. Yeah. I know. But some things, it's like, you know what? You're going to run into a lot of things in life that are going to irritate you.
And listen, I mean, you got to pick your battles.
Some gay guy calling your wife sweetie at the coffee shop. Like, fucking move on, dude. You're being overly sensitive with this one.
I agree with that. I can tell you.
And if he wasn't gay, honestly, if he was a straight guy, I would totally understand. It's like, it sounds like you're flirting with my fucking wife,
asshole. Him suck a dick? How do you know he's gay?
Usually you can tell.
Yeah, maybe it's a fucking great disguise.
Maybe, perhaps. I'd like some photo evidence. He didn't provide it. What are you gonna do?
You want to see him sucking a dick?
No, but an image. If there was just this image, just like, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy's no threat. That queen bee. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Willie Nelson in the White House. Hello, friends. Regarding the news story about Hunter Biden's coke, he found at the White House, or the staff members. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a story about Willie Nelson smoking a joint off a White House balcony? Spark up a J for me, Frank. Yeah, that's a legendary
famous.
story.
Exactly. And wasn't it? It was Jimmy Carter's kid or son or somebody that did it. It wasn't Jimmy, but somebody went with him, I think, and smoked it with him. Jimmy's
probably
it was
Jimmy Carter's
it was Jimmy
kid
Carter. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
Didn't Jimmy Carter? Isn't he the one that had the brother with a beer or something like that?
He rolled and smoked a joint on the White House roof when Jimmy Carter was president.
Yeah.
He said he should have been afraid of getting caught, but wasn't at the time. So it doesn't say anything about brother, but you're right. It was the Carter administration.
I think I remember hearing something about that. That was like, wasn't Billy Beer? What was that? What's that one? Isn't that Billy Carter? Is that Jimmy Carter's brother?
Are you thinking about Hillary
Beer?
Clinton's brother, Billy, or
that's her husband? But yeah,
no, her brother, or no, that's no.
What was Billy Beer?
Who's the Rodham?
No, Billy Beer. Billy Beer is a brand of beer made in the United States in 1977 by the Falls Brew. It was promoted by Billy Carter. All right. Okay. I'm just going to drop the mic and just leave it here.
All right. Don't drop the mic. They're expensive. Don't do that. Snoop Dogg, known for his love of frequent use of ganja, said in 2014, the year prior, he smoked weed in a White House bathroom. Willie Nelson, obviously. Gary McLean, former collegiate basketball player for Villanova, said he was wired on blow when meeting Reagan in the Rose Garden after his team won that NCAA tournament. There's some British actor who who none of us have heard of, Erkan Mustafa, but he said he smoked weed in the White House while there to promote with Nancy Reagan and her Just Say No
DARE
initiative.
program? God bless.
Yes.
Attaboy.
Honorable mention. I did not know this, and which means probably many of you didn't know this, but Grace Slick gets an honorable mention. This bitch, she intended but failed to spike Richard Nixon's tea with acid.
Oh, nice.
Holy shit.
Well done. That would have been amazing.
She detailed in a 2011 interview that she was invited to the White House by Tricia Nixon, the first lady, and planned to spike his tea, but wasn't let into the premises due to a mix-up with her last name.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not Grace Lick? Well, it's Grace Slick?
Slick.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. We have a Grace Lick on the waiting list. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, let's do one more and get out of here.
I'm going to see Willie Nelson in a couple of months.
God, I'm jealous. He's awesome, man. He's awesome.
The Outlaw Festival.
Vax Lamentations. The one thing you guys did was not shame any of us one way or the other. I commend you guys on that. To those that vax shamed us Americans who refuse to be hoodwinked, those assholes, I say, come on, vaccine. Come on,
vaccine.
Oh,
you know what I mean.
We take great pride in things like that. We were not going to do that to people.
No, of course not.
No way. That is a choice between you and your medical provider, your primary care physician, whatever.
Now, if you're still getting boosters, I will shame the fuck out of you.
Fuck that.
If you're on your 7th booster.
Yeah, and if you're still driving around in a fucking Kia Sonata with a fucking mask on and the windows rolled up, you can eat the whole dick. So I'm tired of seeing all of you around.
Yeah.
But no, we were not going to do that and embarrass people, shame people.
Nope.
These were decisions that everybody's health status is different.
Sure.
Ages are different. You and I are the same age relatively. And
you're way older now.
Yeah, right. A few months. But the fact of the matter is I'm on way more meds than you are. I've run myself down pretty fucking ragged. And my immune system is not what yours is.
Nope.
So, there's a big difference and stuff like that. So, no, we take great pride in that, Jim.
And to be honest, that played into my decision as well. I play it off now that it was just, I say I wanted to go into concerts, but it was obvious. If you know me, I'm not that basic.
Yeah.
It was more that there was more involved than that, but it was also that I bought into the horse shit percentages that they were sticking out. Like when we get to 70% or 80%, we can start opening up.
Yep.
And it was that I had so much respect for the people that were so against it and staunchly against it that didn't want to get it.
Yeah.
That the people, like, I was the one, like, okay, I'm on the fence. I could go either way. I can justify not getting it. I can justify getting it. I can make the say, okay, but it makes it easier for this and some of my work shit and stuff. So
yeah.
I can go ahead and get it. I wasn't excited to get it. I wasn't running out to get it.
Yeah.
But that actually played into it. Was like, okay, people like me get it. Then the ones that really don't want to can stay in that 20 or 30% or whatever that we didn't have to get to.
Good attitude. That's a good spot.
That was the reality of it.
And it doesn't surprise me at all that you'd be thinking along those lines of looking out for your fellow man. Yeah. Like, all right, in this instance, it's no weight off my shoulders. If I can do this, it means some other person can stay in that 20, 30%. Yeah. We don't fuck us all.
I mean, we were shut down, all that bullshit. It was like, and that was well, no, but that was the carrot they fucking dangled, when we get to this percentage.
Wait, what about the free French fries too?
Yeah, I never got any of that stuff.
Yeah, which sucks, dude.
I just went and got it.
God, when
Didn't
Bill
get anything out of it. They were giving weed away.
Yeah.
You get weed for getting your back.
Ridiculous. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
All right, let's wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. We will drop some stuff exclusively for the members. Go to patreon.com/TDC
Lucky
Podcast.
bastards.
Become a member. This week, we're going to open it up to anybody that's a member. So even the people that don't typically do the higher level to where they get the audio benefits, they will this week. So at least it's a couple shows.
Membership has its privileges.
Has its privileges, yes. And guys, I can't wait to come back. I love doing this. I'll be gone for all next week, but we'll be back the week after that with all new episodes. And T-Roy,
have
vacation, a wonderful
buddy.
time. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see Marshall. He and I went back and forth on texts. Who could say I love you more and mean it more? Like infinity times infinity times infinity to the moon and back +1. And I can't wait to fucking see that little dude. I just can't wait. And I know you'll take great care of the baby.
Sure.
Who I will miss, but she adores you. So thank you for that. Thank you for everything. And we'll see y'all real soon.